Hi, my name is Robin. Welcome to day 20 of Disney Plus movie reviews. Today I am talking about a movie called Bedtime Stories that came out in 2008. So when this movie came out, I was in 8th grade and I saw it. I liked it when I saw it in the movie theater, so I was excited to get to watch it as an adult. So this movie stars Adam Sandler. It is produced by Adam Sandler. His production company is the one that made it. So Adam Sandler was very involved in this movie. Spoiler-free plot. Adam Sandler's character is named Skeeter. His dad was in the hospitality industry. He had a hotel. Adam Sandler loved the hotel. Adam Sandler wanted to run a hotel. We see Adam Sandler working in a job, and we see him interacting with people. There are some bedtime stories. There are some children. There's some gumballs. And there's a hamster, gerbil, with giant eyes. His name is Bugsy. His eyes are huge. And there is an ending to this movie. The end. So slightly more in depth, Adam Sandler's character, Skeeter, grew up in his dad's hotel. He wanted to run the hotel. Some man, and pay attention, buys the hotel from his dad, from Adam Sandler's dad, Skeeter's dad, and promises that Skeeter will get to run the hotel someday. What doesn't happen? What happens is Adam Sandler is the maintenance guy at this giant hotel. And Adam Sandler's character is a very good maintenance man, but he's not thrilled to be doing it. His sister's 2 kids, his niece Bobby and his nephew Patrick, end up staying with him for a week, even though he's pretty much never met them. One of these kids is 6, and the last time he saw them was 4 years ago. He didn't know that Bobby was the girl and Patrick was the boy. But for some reason, his sister, played by Monica Geller, which is not her real name, but that will forever be her name to me, even though she was also in a show called Goobertown, which was very funny. She goes to a job interview because she's a principal at a school, and their school is being torn down. So he has the kids at night, and this lady, Jill, who's a teacher at their school and their mom's friend, has them during the day. Well, takes them to school, brings them to him for dinner, and she goes to night school. So we meet Jill. Their meeting is not the smoothest, but it happens. So we move on from that. He has the kids. He's telling them bedtime stories because his dad had told him stories, and he loves stories. So he tells them this grand story, and then the kids add a couple things to it, including raining gumballs. And the next day, Skeeter encounters some gumballs raining down on his truck. What had actually happened is a gumball truck got in a wreck, and so they were just falling down from the bridge, the overpass above him, onto his car. Truck, vehicle, but he didn't know that. He was just like, it's raining gumballs. The stories are coming true. He eventually figures out that it's what the kids say that happens. So all these big things happen, and he tries to guide the kids to certain things. But then in their final story, the kids catch on fire. And he's like, oh no. He goes to this birthday party. The reason he's at a birthday party is it's his boss's birthday party. And the boss had picked this guy, Kendall, don't like Kendall, to run the new giant hotel that they were building. Biggest hotel on the West Coast. Huge. With a secret theme. But the secret theme is rock and roll. And Skeeter was like, oh yeah, like Hard Rock Cafe. And the boss is like, Kendall! And so the boss talks to Kendall and is like, that's not a brilliant, different, new idea. So he has them compete. He gives them a week each to come up with a new theme. So they think, and then thankfully the kids are helpful. But in the story, it's an alien battle. There's a booger monster that comes out. They have to fight, kind of. It kind of just comes out. And then it thoroughly licks Kendall. In real life, what that was a slobbery, boogery dog, which was gross. In the story, Skeeter, who had an alien-sounding name, spoke an alien language. In real life, what happened is Skeeter was eating ice cream. He scooped some ice cream up. There was a bee that landed on his spoon, and he didn't notice. He ate it, it stung his tongue. His tongue was swollen. But thankfully, his friend, played by a famous guy, translates for him because he understands what he's saying. It's funny. There's one line that he doesn't understand. It's a very comical thing. So, back to the fire. The kids had said that he was going to catch on fire, and he was like, oh no, I'm going to die. But what actually happens is he's avoiding fire the whole time at the tiki themed ish party, Hawaiian themed. There's tiki torches, there's a volcano cake, and Skeeter sprays it out. Well, before that, Skeeter won the competition, the hotel competition, because Kendall's idea was a Broadway themed hotel. And honestly, I would love to go to a Broadway themed hotel. That'd be pretty awesome. But Skeeter's idea was basically make your hotel a hotel. Don't make it feel like home because people want an escape. That was his whole presentation, and it was good. There was no solid idea in it, but he won. So good for him. So after that, the birthday cake is coming out. Skeeter tries to talk to his boss because Kendall had just told him that the hotel was going to be built where the school is, where his sister is the principal and his love interest, Jill, she's the love interest, works. Because Kendall had told Jill and pretended that Skeeter knew. Skeeter had no idea. And Jill was just a little ridiculous. But anyway, Kendall told Skeeter was going to talk to the boss. Then this flaming volcano cake comes out. And Skeeter flips out and sprays it with a fire extinguisher and sprays the boss man in the face and gets fired. And he's like, oh, that's where the fire comes from. He tries to talk to Jill. Like, Skeeter then saves the school because he's smart. So the school is saved. Jill's like, yay! But then his niece and nephew went into, because he's at the zoning office, but his kids, his sister, and a lot of other people are not at the zoning office. They're at the school. His niece and nephew had gone inside, and they wouldn't listen to Monica Geller when she was like, oh no, my kids are in there. But thankfully, Skeeter and Jill roll up literally on a motorcycle. He has Jill grab onto these handlebars in the playground and swing off, and he just kind of zooms up there and tackles Kendall, and then the kids come running out. So that would have been bad if the kids had died. And then we all lived happily ever after, and then they do the fun kind of epilogue thing, but they flip through it like a storybook. So Skeeter and Jill are together, and they run a hotel, or at least Skeeter runs a hotel that's like in honor of his dad, and he named it after his dad, who's the narrator. Monica gets to keep being the principal because the school is still open, because the district lady's like, oh yeah, it would take years and years. But there's a beachfront property that you could have. And the boss was like, what? That wasn't available. And the zoning lady, who was someone who had gone to high school with Skeeter and had mocked him, but the kids made it better in the story. She was like, oh yeah, it's available. So he's going to do that instead. Skeeter's happy. Jill's happy. Monica's happy. Kendall and his secret love interest, because he was dating the boss's daughter, but he was secretly like in a relationship with the front desk lady, now work for Skeeter. Personally, I would not want to keep them that close, but he has them as maintenance and housekeeping. They have to clean up after Bugsy when he eats marshmallows and they don't sit well with his tummy. Gross. And his best friend, who's famous, I want to say Russell Crowe, but also that might be very wrong, but a famous guy, ends up with the boss's daughter. So they're very happy. The end. Ratings. Daniel gave this movie a 7. He said, quote, I just wanted to punch Adam Sandler's character in the face too much. He was actively unlikable until the last 20 minutes or so. I liked the premise. End quote. Honestly, for that, I said that the plot was good. The characters were decent. Overall, I gave it a 7. Also, I think this is the first time that we've given a movie the same. That's cool. I liked this movie as a kid when it came out, and I still like it as an adult. An issue that I had with characters was that Jill had a few sudden character changes that didn't make sense, but Daniel pointed out that she was under the influence of the kid's story. So maybe that's why she was so drastic in her changes. It is a fun demonstration about the importance and power of storytelling. And it's just lighthearted fun. It's not a heavy movie. Like if the kids had gotten stuck in the building when it was demolished, that would have been a heavy movie, but that did not happen. It was lighthearted fun and everyone was saved. So that is Bedtime Stories that came out in 2008. Thank you for listening. This was pretty efficient for just being me. This was a pretty good time.